When you're out in a social environment, do you find that one of the first things people ask you when you're meeting for the first time is, what do you do? If you're like me and hate that question, you may want to watch this video, as I'm going to provide you with some alternative questions that if you get them in first, you may stop them asking you that. What do you do is the bog standard question we seem to ask when we meet a new person. To me, it feels like an intrusive question, one that leads to a judgment call. Firstly, it leads you to telling people what you do for a living. It tells your questioner where you are in the salary scale and lets them know whether you are a suitable person to talk to. Secondly, it pins your identity to a job and not to who you are. And thirdly, it can be embarrassing to a person if they're asked and they're out of work. And finally, the person being asked may not like their job and do not want to talk about it. What's more, it can make a conversation stilted and awkward. Personally, I tend to shy away from that question as I hate being asked it. The problem is I can really think of anything else to ask instead to promote conversation. You see, I'm not great at small talk. My brother-in-law is the complete opposite. He can talk to a stranger, and if you were watching them, you'd think they'd known each other for years. I asked him how he does it, and he says he doesn't know, it just comes naturally to him. If I'm in the position of meeting a new person, I try to find something to compliment them about so that I don't get dragged into the what you do for a living conversation. Or I'll ask if they live around here, or have you been here long, where we're meeting. What sort of questions do you ask to get a conversation flowing? Please leave your answers in the comment section below, as I would love to know. Anyway, I subscribe to a few authors' newsletters, and one popped up in my email the other day, and I thought I'd have a read. And in it there was a link to an article talking about this very subject. So I clicked on the link, and in the article by Courtney Sater, they gave 27 alternative questions that could lead to a more interesting conversation than that question would. And I thought I'd share them with you. But before I do, could I ask you to subscribe to the channel if you're finding my videos of interest? And by clicking that like button, it helps me to know whether you're finding my content of any use to you or not. So here are the 27 alternative questions to what do you do? 1. What are you most passionate about? 2. What do you like to do? 3. What's the best thing that happened to you today? 4. What are you most excited about right now? 5. What are you working on? 6. If money were no object, what would you do with your life? 7. What do you do for fun? 8. What's something you're into right now? 9. What's the most interesting thing that's happened to you lately? 10. How do you feel your life has worked out so far? 11. What's the best part of your week or your weekend? 12. What did you want to be when you grew up? 13. What are you looking forward to right now? 15. What's the last photo that you took on your phone? 15. What's your favourite thing to spend money on? 16. What's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about you? 17. What habit or improvement are you working on? 18. What cheers you up? 19. What's your favourite word? 20. What cause are you passionate about? 21. What's on your mind lately? 22. What personal habit are you proudest of? 23. How do you spend your days? 24. What problem do you wish you could solve? 25. What's the most interesting thing you've learned recently? 26. Whom in the world would you like to most share a meal with? And 27. What's your favourite emoji? I think using these questions would certainly open up into some great conversations, don't you? I'm going to try using one the next time I'm introduced to someone new and see where it leads. And if you look up there, I'm going to tell you a true story about a night I'll never forget.